Should I buy a house now or wait till the house prices drop? That's by far the most common question we have had in the last few weeks. Let me try and give a holistic answer in this video. Hi, my name is Ajay, and in this channel we're going to show you how to buy a house here in Germany. You might have seen these trends in the newspapers or read them online or talked to your friends about it. Some may say prices will drastically fall, but others believe that house prices will increase again. But who's right? Right now, we see two different trends. The first one is an increased interest rates compared to the last few years. And the second one is a slight decrease in prices for already constructed houses. The most frequent question asked about 2-3 years ago was, Ajay, how do I impress the broker so that I can have a look at the property from the inside? Now, with increased interest rates, we see a lot of properties which are in the market not being sold, which leads to an effect that almost you can choose the house you want to buy. And now a common question is, should I buy house A or should I buy house B? Please help me compare these options. But would it be better to wait, watch, and get a better deal in a few months? Now, while I cannot foresee the future, I can at least give a few pointers. First point. With the current risen interest rates, less people are being able to afford buying houses. On top of which, a lot of people are also waiting to purchase because of uncertainty. This leads to less demand, which in turn leads to price reductions because buyers are not willing to pay the asking price anymore or even outbid the highest bidder like 2 or 3 years ago. We also see that sellers are willing to sell or are needing to sell and thus are reducing the price on their own. We use a tool to check for these deals. You'll find the link to that in the description below. Second point, asking prices are getting more realistic. Before we push a loan application to the bank, we check the evaluation from a bank's perspective in order to guide our clients whether the price they want to pay is fair or not. More and more these days, the purchase price is below the bank's evaluation. This was the other way around 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago, our clients wanted to pay 5, 10, or even 15% over the bank's evaluation. Third point. Once the buyers realize that they have the upper hand and that the broker is calling them for a follow-up, the tendency is to negotiate on the price, no matter whether the price was fair already or reduced upfront. This leads to another decrease in prices. As long as the interest rates stay at this level or are increased and the level of uncertainty stays the same, the prices will slowly decrease. First point. The German government has just announced that it's going to decrease the threshold for attracting high-skilled workers from outside of the European Union. You might have already heard about this. This will definitely lead to an increase in demand for living space. Larger cities in Germany, we already see that living space is scarce and it's very difficult to find a rental apartment on short notice. Even in smaller cities where I live in, if I were to advertise one of my own apartments, I switch off the ad after about 2 hours because I will have enough applicants for my flat. We're talking about 100 to 150 applicants per flat here. With this scarcity, especially in bigger cities, prices might increase over time. Second point. The current inflation drives prices upwards. This is true for new constructions. Investors are looking at an asset class which increases in value over time and also has an increase in return on invest year on year. For example, by increasing the rent every X months, I can increase my rental yield, which is not possible with stocks or mutual funds. This attracts investors, increases the demand, and hence prices of flats increase. Third point. The current government promised that around 400,000 flats are going to be built every year. We are far behind that schedule. This, in conjunction with an increasing population in the major cities, leads to an increase of value of already existing properties. We finance properties across Germany and we've got quite a broad view on what's happening in the big cities and what's happening outside of those. What we do see is that in the larger cities, we've got less price reductions as compared to smaller cities. But what does rising and falling prices mean for your pocket? Let's take an example. Let's assume we buy a flat in Frankfurt for 400,000 euros. I need to finance it at 4% interest rate with a 2% repayment. This will lead to an EMI of 2,000 euros a month. The ancillary cost for that will be around 46,000 euros. This is the minimum down payment the bank would expect. Now, if there's a price reduction of 10% to 360,000 euros, the ancillary cost decreased to around 42,000 euros. So there's already something you're saving, which is 4,000 bucks. Assuming the interest rate and the repayment rate are same, the EMI will drop to 1,800 euros a month. So the decrease of 40,000 euros in property price at an interest rate of 4% and a repayment of 2%, our EMI decreases by 200 euros a month. If it were to increase by 10%, then the EMI subsequently would increase by 200 bucks a month as well. While we're talking about finances, interest rates, prices and EMI, I would also like to draw your attention to the fact that most of the house purchases for own use are not financially driven. They tend to be emotional decisions. The desire to settle down, to own property, outweighs any Excel spreadsheets and the calculations. More important than the price and the interest rates anyway is whether you feel comfortable or not, whether you've got the right infrastructure to live and strive, whether the neighbors are nice, whether it's the perfect location for you and your family to settle down and live there for the next decade, let's say. If you want to be guided throughout the journey of buying a house, you can get in contact with us using the link in the description below. We'd be happy to support you.